and the twilight lies gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight. Oh, the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets trembling, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, Satan's that star-spangled banner, yeah, wave o'er the land under the fray, and the home of the brave.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome back to the Freedom Network. I'm Gary Rosenberg right here, your host. Ready for an exciting hour of the Freedom Network. So glad that you decided to join us. Here we are. We're over 70 shows up here in Northbridge. It's a lot of shows. It's 70 hours worth of programming. Let me tell you, you folks make it a lot easier with all the emails and stuff. It makes it very easy to move through. And excuse me, we appreciate them all. So what a crazy week that it's been. Lots has been going on. Today we're going to talk about all kinds of things. We are going to talk about the schools. I got an email on the schools, and from a disturbed parent. I also was able to talk to the school. And to representatives from the school and get some facts and some things about that. So we will get that out there. I know it's been talked about a little bit online, and we'll get some things out there. We are going to talk about where this all started. That was back at SMAC, Stoughton Media Access Corporation, SMAC TV. That's where the Freedom Network started, where Tim Corkum and I did start this whole thing. That's the Tim in Tim or Gary. That is him, old friend. He's not old. Well, he's my age, so I guess we're both getting old, buddy. But he's not old, but an old friend from way back in school, and that's what kind of started this entire thing way back. And it was interesting and has been interesting. It really has been. We're certainly going to talk about a great experience I had yesterday at a gun class with Richard Cheris. We had him on the program. We'll have him back on the program once again. Soon, maybe next week. I think we're shooting for next week, but if we can't do that, then we'll certainly get him on as soon as we can. If we have some time, I guess we'll talk about some politics. There was an election and quite the results from that. We had the 9/11 memorial. Kids singing the national anthem were stopped from singing the national anthem. Something over permitting. This is all very interesting stuff. But let's do this. We got a lot to go through, not much time to do it. We got to be out by 55 minutes past the hour because, of course, we must make room for 3 on 11. We have to make room for them. And I think that there's some kind of a show going on tomorrow night about the Valley that you should probably tune into. Am I right on that? I think he's got the school coming in or some people from the school. Or yeah, he's got some cool stuff going on tomorrow night as well. So tune in now, tune in at 8 o'clock, tune in tomorrow. Just keep it on your local TV station right here at NCTV. We love being here, I'll tell you that much. We love to be here. And we're going to talk about that in a few minutes. But I've got to get through some other things that just have popped up. Now, I'm not a technical guy. My CD player has popped out. I'm not going to push it back in because I feel as though it will look for a CD and it will take all of this information that I have for you right away. So let's go. TimorGary@gmail.com gets you right in touch with us. We'll be able to take your emails in just a few minutes. on any topic that you want. Local, national, state does not matter to us. We try to have a forum every week for you and some things to discuss, but never let that limit you to what you want to talk about. You want to talk about something, you email it in. We'll talk about it. No problem at all. If you want to get in on the Facebook world, just send me, the easiest way, just send me an email. I send you a link. Boom, you join. We approve. All is well. You're out there commenting, and there's lots that goes on there. We answer all of our emails. I cannot get them all, unfortunately, to be on the air. I can't do that because, you know what? It's a great problem to have. I have too many to read them all. We have exploded in our emails since we have moved up into the Northbridge area. I'm going to tell you. We have a wonderful audience locally. It's big, it's powerful, it means something, it gets, it can actually change elections. And you folks are amazing. You're just amazing. So, and also we go all the way out to Buffalo now. We have people out in Texas and many stops in between. So as we grow, we always thank the people that have been here since the beginning. And anybody that's just joining us, thank you. We appreciate it. All right. Let's jump in. Larry says, hey, Gary, love that show on guns. Excuse me, love that show on guns. I want to contact Richard. Can you send me his contact info? Yes, of course, Larry. I can send you his contact info. And I can send you his contact info as well. Just send me an email and I'll certainly send it to you. Now, I took Richard's class yesterday. It was a fantastic time. I learned a ton from this guy. This guy has an immense amount of information, and he's a good teacher. He gets how to teach people. You know, he's calm, he's slow, especially for me, you got to be slow. No, he's calm, he's interactive. You know, a lot of great information, and he really teaches you about firearms. He teaches you about safety. He teaches you about ammo. What kind of ammo? When would you use this? Why would you use it? What fits in what? What do you do if, and goes right through it. It's all about safety, and what a great job he does teaching about safety, how to handle it, and, if you want, how to use it. This guy can shoot, folks. I mean, let me tell you, he can really shoot. Unbelievable. I would highly recommend the class. Anyone that wants to learn, whether you're a novice, you've never shot a gun in your life, you have some experience, maybe you've shot some rifles, maybe you're looking to get your LTC, maybe you're a marksman, or maybe you just want to learn, it'll be time well spent for you. I promise you that. Now, I think I have a video of me that I'm going to show you the results of what can happen if you spend a little bit of time with Richard, and what he can help you to achieve safely. And you know what? It's your right if you want to exercise it. So I say you should at least know about them, right? You should at least know about guns, what to do with them, what not to do with them, when it's appropriate, when it's not appropriate, how to carry one, when you should, when you shouldn't carry one, where you can, where you can't. I mean, this is not a let's sit down for a half an hour, and here's the information, and yeah, you seem to have done a good job. Now what do you want to do? Go out and get a drink. No, that's not what this is about. This is truly about firearms, firearm safety, ammunition, how to use them, and all that good stuff. So I wanted to give a minute there, but I have a video that I'm going to show you. We have that video? Let's pop that video in there right now. It's only about 10 seconds long or so, and let's see. This is the result of a few hours with Richard. Down the row, right down the row. And I'm no expert, okay? So, you want to learn how to do it right and be safe, email me. I'll get you some information on him because, boy, he really did do one heck of a job. All right, John. John says, Gary, you give it to them. What is great is to have a show like this that is local but also talks about state and national politics the way you do. I'm happy you do what you do, and I wanted to thank you. John, thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Emily, Gary, you are crazy. The Constitution is old and outdated. We need to revise it totally. Why? Because an emailer said to you a while back, let's see, there is too much freedom in America, and freedom is not a good thing if you have too much of it. I watch your show only to see the next outrageous thing you say. I'm sorry. Well, don't be sorry. Don't be sorry, Emily. You're welcome here on the Freedom Network. You can think I'm crazy. I am crazy. What do you want from me? But I'm going to tell you something. I will tell you something. You absolutely, positively have hits on something that's very important to me, and that's freedom. And if you don't like freedom, Emily, and you don't want to follow the Constitution, that's okay. This may not be the place for you because, thank goodness, I'm hoping as we grow and grow and grow, and as other programs and conservative, constitutional kind of people grow in numbers, you know what? It's our country. It's not your country to do with what you want. It's our country to preserve the way we want. So, all right, what are we going to do? We're going to play that other video? Yeah. All right, let's play that. I have a great thing I wanted to play for you folks, and I'm going to come back, a few more, we'll get into the meat program right here on the Freedom Network.
What can I do for you today?
I would like to raise my debt limit.
Excuse me?
My debt limit, I'd like to raise it.
Because the last time I checked, Mr. Smith, you were in serious debt.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Figure we should raise that limit.
Yeah, it says here you're $140,270 in debt.
Right. So I figured we should raise that limit to about $170,000. I just bought a 60-inch flat screen. Have you ever been to Australia?
No.
Leaving tomorrow, mate. You should check it out. Great parasailing.
Do you have some new income that I don't know about?
No, still making about 21 grand a year.
Okay. And are you still spending $38,000 a year?
That's what it says.
So you're adding $17,000 a year in debt.
Wow, is that what it comes out to? Debt limit going up. Ding.
Have you made any cuts in your expenses?
Oh, of course, yes. My wife and I cut $380 out of our annual budget. It's $380. Brutal.
Okay, so you're making.
Oh shit!
You're adding $17,000 a year to your $140,000 in debt, and you cut $380.
Well, you say it like that, it makes it not sound like a lot.
Hey, maybe you should think about generating some new income. Maybe a new job. Maybe ask for that raise.
Oh, asking for that raise, I'm not comfortable. That's an awkward conversation. I've always been able to raise my debt limit.
Yeah, well, this is a little different.
Well, how?
We're in the middle of a recession, and your credit rating will plummet if you continue to go along this path.
I almost had it.
You don't see how bad this is, do you?
I cut my budget by $380. Are you kidding?
I'm sorry, Mr. Smith. We can't help you.
You just a little like.
I'm very sorry.
My wife is going to lose it.
Been there.
I mean, $380 was bad enough. I mean, this is going to end our marriage. We stopped talking to each other for a month. The baby was totally freaked out.
Wait, you have kids?
Yeah. Yeah.
Sign there.
All right. Aren't kids a blessing? I mean, she's got plenty of time to deal with all this, right?
Absolutely.
Are we all set?
You're all set.
All right. Let's go, kiddo. We got to meet Mommy at the car store. Here we go. I think this is yours.
Thank you. Enjoy.
Thanks. Hey.
All right, everybody, welcome back. Live TV is so great, isn't it? Something we weren't able to do in Stoughton, unfortunately, but we could do it here. Can you hear me? Am I coming in? Are we popping, crackling, anything bad? We're good? All right, we'll leave it. You can see I've got a mic here. I've got a mic here. I mean, this is a crack team, let me tell you. Oh, it's good to work with professionals, isn't it? Huh, Tim? You should be up here. Anyway, let's move on with our emails. That video was really cool. I was going to play it for you a little bit later in the show, but we did have some things that we had to take care of here. So we played it then. So we're just running now. Now we're just running on it. All right, Grace says, let me ask you a question about gay marriage. I know you support it, but it is against the laws of religion. Marriage is a religious practice, and we should not allow just anyone to partake in it. Why do you feel gay people should be able to get married? They should not, and the government should not recognize it in any way. We are a nation of Christians and Jews, and religion is what the founders had and wanted for everyone. Please explain yourself. Okay, Grace, let me explain myself. I'll try to explain it. First of all, the state has zero right to reward a religious practice, okay, and then deny that to people who don't take part in it. That's what marriage is. Further, they cannot say that if you don't take part in a religious ceremony or practice, for example, you pay more taxes. Well, you do, because I pay a little less taxes because I'm married. Why can't somebody that's gay pay a little less taxes? Because they didn't do something religious. Not going to fly with me. This is easy to find all over the founding documents, Grace. It's very easy. I have no issue. I have no desire to say and who you can love, and who you can be with, and who's good or who's bad based on what they believe or they don't believe religiously. A gay person doesn't believe that they're going to hell. They don't believe that, especially if they believe in God. What is to say that your beliefs are more important or true than their beliefs? This is America. Grace, live and let live. Back up a little bit. I like to say, my favorite saying, back up the happy wagon for a minute. The founding fathers were clear on America and religion. Let me give you a few quotes from the founders. I'll find them here in a minute. You think religion wanted to run the day. It's not really so true. Remember, where in the world does religion run a country? Any country, you pick it, where religion runs the country and the people are really free. Email me your list. Anyway, Thomas Jefferson. Here we go. Christianity neither is nor ever was a part of the common law. In every country and in every age, the priest has been hostile to liberty. John Adams says the government of the United States is not in any sense founded on the Christian religion. Thomas Paine, all national institution of churches, whether Jewish, Christian, or Turkish, appear to me no other than human inventions set up to terrify and enslave mankind, monopolize power, and profit. James Madison, of course, one of my favorites. Religion and government will both exist in greater purity, the less they are mixed together. See, it's not about being there's a few others here. It's not about being anti-religion. It's about making sure that Americans are allowed to be free and live under the same rules. Constitutionally speaking, there's no basis to punish anyone for not, giving them a social benefit, if you will, and a monetary benefit, next of kin benefits, insurance benefits, and more based on not being allowed by some religion. So what I would say, Grace, is this, right? No priest, rabbi, minister, imam, you say it. It doesn't matter. None of them should be forced to perform any ceremony that they don't want to perform. This is their religion. It's your religion. You do what you want with your religion. But the United States government had no business ever saying, well, if you get married and you follow this religious thing, because I do believe that marriage is a religious thing, that's just what it is, then we're going to give you some benefits. And if you don't, we're not going to give you the benefits. And if you can't, we're not going to give you the benefits. Grace, that's my problem with it. That's my problem with it. Aside from the fact that I believe if you want to love another woman, or if you want to love another man, or if whatever the case may be, do it. It makes no difference to me. It has no impact on my life, doesn't impact my rights or my freedoms at all, in any way, shape, or form. So why do I want the government involved with that in any way, shape, or form? The benefits that are given to married people based on a religious practice, in all reality, Grace, shouldn't be there. That's just the reality of the Constitution and of the founding documents and our founding fathers' opinions. Okay, I have one more email to discuss. It was emailed by a viewer that had an issue with some school curriculum. This email I received. I want you to know that I was able to get a comment from the school on this issue. I will present you the facts as they unfolded to me in the time and the way that they unfolded to me, and I'll allow you to make your own decisions, comment by email or on the phone if you do so wish. But I'd love to hear your opinions on it nonetheless. I will say that the school department in this town has, in my dealings with them, in my interactions with them, been nothing really but fantastic, and they have been. Honestly, they've done a great job educating my son. He's smart. He has great teachers. He really does. They challenge him all the time. His experiences have been very good, I think, and positive here in Northbridge. Anyway, let me get to go through the email. It's kind of long, but I'm going to try to skip through it, and then I'll get you the info that I got from the schools, and then we'll go from there. We'll see if you have any comments on it. If not, we'll move on. And what we'll move on to next is going to be a little bit of fun. So we'll have some fun. It's always nice to have a little bit of fun. Anyway, this was an email written. The old adage, never discuss religion and politics in polite company, is never more true today than it was when it was first said. Both topics have the potential to cause division and strife. I was quite disturbed when I found that my son and other kids in the 7th grade in an ELA class were asked to write an essay regarding the story of Adam and Eve last Thursday. As I was told, the assignment was to determine, based upon a list of characteristics, whether the story was myth or real. The topic, I believe, is highly inappropriate and forces those in the class who hold deep religious convictions, my son included, to defend their beliefs against some academic's idea to what constitutes a myth. The topic not only has a potential to offend 3 major religious groups, Jews, Christians, and Muslims, but also puts you and other 7th grade teachers in the position of having to defend against accusations of pushing an atheistic theology on the children. It would seem the assignment's purpose was to enable you to judge the ability of the student to formulate arguments regarding the veracity of a particular story. A non-religious topic should have been chosen. For instance, one could have chosen the story of the Battle of Troy, or Jason or the Argonauts. Jason and the Argonauts. As I stand, I and other parents are quite upset by this episode. If the school is to maintain a neutral stance regarding religious beliefs, then the school curriculum should likewise avoid, at the very least, the appearance of pushing our children one way or the other. There are more appropriate forums to allow our children to come to their own conclusions regarding religious beliefs. I want to emphasize that I neither blame you for choosing this topic nor advocate avoiding discussions regarding religious beliefs. I do expect you and other ELA teachers, in conjunction with the Director of Curriculum, to re-examine the criteria for choosing topics and topics planned for the rest of the academic year to ensure that this does not happen again to my son or any other children in the future. Regards, the emailer. Okay. Now, as we say, I am going to somehow get back to my emails. And I will be, there we go. I just had to do a little something that, you know me and technology. We don't always get along so well, but we make it in the end, don't we? Yeah, we make it in the end, me and technology. All right. So I sent a reply. And based on the information I had here, I sent a reply. And in my reply, I did say that, we wouldn't challenge the myth or reality of, let's say, something in the Quran. We wouldn't do it in something in the Old Testament. Why? I asked if we could get some kind of response or comment for the show. I will tell you that I spoke to Amy McKinstry, who is in charge of curriculum, and the specific curriculum that's in question. We had a nice conversation this afternoon, and I want to thank you for getting back to me, as well as for Catherine Stickney for ensuring that I could speak to this person before the show. Very good response time. It turned this thing around in just a few hours, and we're able to actually get some information. This is the information I have. Now, Amy, if I misspeak anything, I took good notes. I read them back. Hopefully, I've got everything right here. But let me dive into this a little bit. All right. So Amy wrote the plans for the module that's in question. They're working on ancient Greece, mythology, Olympics, family, religion, and an overview of the culture. Let's see, this plan is called, or this curriculum is called In the Beginning, and it includes creation stories from around the world. This was talking about Greek history. Studying religious or biblical history is part of the Massachusetts state curriculum. So I do have to put that out there. They can't not talk about it. Okay, they have to talk about it. It's part of the curriculum. That's from the state. Now, the state is insane with how many things that they force the towns and the cities in Massachusetts to do, and usually don't pay for most of it. But to be honest with you, I'll advocate for states' rights, and I'll advocate for town rights. Let the towns do what they want to do. Anyway, lessons where they read about Christian creation in a short story. They also read other creation stories. What they were asked to do was compare and contrast the different ideas. Compare the 3 cultures that they learned about. Compare and contrast the similarities in the 3 creation stories. Now, they had to decide if it was a myth or not. Examples are Baker's Dozen, Bloody Mary, King Midas, and there was also another one, I believe she had said. It was over a month, I believe, that they had to look at this mythological stories and different things and decide which were myths and which were not. Here's the thing, though. It was in the context of what would the opinion of the Greeks be, because they were studying the Greeks. That does put a little bit of a different spin on it. Now, the intent of the curriculum was not to ask kids to say if Adam and Eve were a myth or real, but rather, in the eyes of the Greeks, from what they learned about them, would they think this was a myth or would they think this was real? That's my understanding of what the class was about. Now, a lot can get lost in translation, okay? It could. It really can, be it from the teacher, the student, the parents. It happens. Honestly, when I read the email at first, you know what I mean? I said, hey, what the heck's going on here? What are we doing? I said to you before, I replied and I called into question, you know, what I had stated to you. But after talking with Amy, there seems to be some misunderstanding as to where this is. I really don't know, but it can only be in a few places. Could it be the teacher? It could. Could it be the student? It could. Nobody's perfect. Maybe something happened. I'm not sure. Either way, good people on both sides, I am sure, can amicably resolve this situation, and I really hope they do, and they are good people on both sides. I welcome your comments and your opinions on this from all sides. I have presented you the info that I have on this. I'd like to know what you think about it, to be honest with you. What do you think about it? If you want to send in an email, you certainly can. If you want to call, you're more than welcome. Or maybe it's too controversial and you just want to leave it alone, and that's okay too. I don't leave controversy alone. I usually go right after it. If I find something controversial, I try to talk about it, like the next thing I'm going to talk about. But to be quite honest with you, it does seem as though there's something not right there between the person that designed the curriculum and what it should have been in the story that came home with the student. Somewhere in the middle, something isn't right. So, you know, as I always say, good people come together. I hope you guys can talk to each other and resolve it. I'm very happy that you emailed me about it. I was able to contact the schools, which was fantastic. And they got right back to me, and that's the info that I have. So that's what I got. That's what I have on that issue for us locally. All right, let's talk about Smack TV, Stoughton Media Access Company. All right, this is where the Freedom Network started. We didn't have the cup, though. So I don't know. It wasn't that official because I didn't have the cup. My son got me this cup. Anyway, we left there for several reasons. But in our Open, we have a piece of the Open that says that we left because of censorship. I posted in the Stoughton News Group to let the people know that we were on the air here in Northbridge and that they could get us online if they wanted to. The station had and there was a little bit of response to it. There wasn't a huge response to it. But there was a little bit of response to it, which is nice. And what was great is I did get about 3 messages from it on Facebook from some old friends, so that's always nice. The station and a few people in particular decided to challenge that on Facebook, why we had put on there about censorship. The two doing the most talking were Mike Hammond and Christopher, I don't even know how to pronounce his last name, Darpino or something like that. What a stupid and insane conversation that I had with these people. I mean, talk about never getting a few hours of your life back. I mean, really, you go after someone who has the truth on their side. When you mess up, normally people let it go. Not all people. You know, they let it die, right? Okay, so these geniuses decided that they wanted to have it out, okay? So you want to look, you know me, all right? And Mike, you should know me as well if you're watching, or Chris, you should know me as well. At least you should know of my attitude in the show. Look, I don't get into things and fights and things of that nature that I don't believe that I can persevere through. You know, it was just such a waste of my time, but yet it really kind of sat on my shoulder for a little bit of time, because I didn't like the tone, I didn't like the accusations, and the defensiveness in and of itself was probably enough for anybody reading to say, well, something happened here, right? Something obviously happened. We have to try to sift through it. So I never had any intention to talk about this, to be quite honest with you, because I let it go. We put something in the open because it's true. And now that I've really researched back and gone back and found some emails and things like that, it is true. And I'm going to show you why it's true in about 60 seconds. But the reality is that they decided that they wanted to have it out. They wanted to pick this fight. They wanted to call me out on it. And they wanted to fight and battle with Tim and all that kind of stuff. And then they wanted to call me names. Chris had, I think, called a few names out there. And, well, you know, to be quite honest with you, that doesn't go well with me. It just doesn't go well with me. You know, you want to have a debate or something like that, that's fine. But it's almost like debating that I don't have the right to own a firearm. Yeah, I do. And you know what? You folks are lying. That's what you're doing. You're trying to distance yourself. You looked at it, you saw the link, you popped it up there, and you went, whoa, this guy is disparaging us. We can't allow that. What can we do about it? Well, let me tell you something, okay? Let me just tell you something. We have some fun, okay? We say rah-rah and smack is in our open, is a way to vent without doing anything personally to attack anybody, but we do put it up there because it is the reality, okay? Well, that's not good enough for these guys. They don't want to let it go. Actually, it's quite laughable, to be honest with you. I lived in Stoughton for a long, long time, folks. I grew up in Stoughton. I have so much info on corruption in Stoughton. You have no idea. And let me tell you, it bleeds very well into Smack TV. Very well. It would make your head spin, okay? It would absolutely make your head spin. Go look up, just Google corruption Stoughton. You'll probably get all the information that you want anyway. I did find something online, but being the decent person that I am, I didn't share the link with everybody right here just now. But there's something quite glaringly online that makes your station look pretty bad. But that's okay. You guys, Google it. Do what you got to do. I'm not going to go down the low road that you like to. Okay, I'm not. And I know you guys like that. Chris loved the low road. Yeah, Mike, you know what? You guys seem to act on behalf of other people. Okay, that's what you seem to do. So do I hold it against you personally? Kinda, but not really. But anyway, let me tell you a little story. Let me tell you a little story about censorship, okay? While Mike and Chris like to just make things up or maybe throw some insults around, I'm going to give you a few facts. And I'm doing this. Why? Because I'm going to be civil about this. I'm not going to lose my cool. After the complete childish and moronic behavior that I saw over the last week from mostly Chris, but Mike also, simply just revising history, I decided I was going to give this a few minutes on the show tonight. Yeah, I did. And I really wasn't gonna. But then I said, you know what? Not going to happen. I'm just not going to let it be. I'm just not going to let it be. For context, just today, Mike says that he never really did talk to me when I did my show. And it's really so funny because I could tell you that the office he occupied, when he was there, I could walk into it and show you his office. Now he's in a bigger office, I think. I went to his office, if he was not in the studio, to say hello every week. Every week. I said hello to him, and I would stand in the door, and he'd be behind the thing on the computer, and he'd be doing his thing. And then they hired somebody from a patch or something like that, and I think that he got promoted. Let me tell you, the politics behind that, you could do a whole show on that. And you know it. You know what I'm talking about. But that's okay. You don't have to admit it. It's all right. We'll vent it all out here for you. All right, character means something. When you attack mine, expect it to come back at you. Okay? I don't lay down and die. All right? And I don't talk about things that I don't know what I'm talking about, guys. So come on. All right, tonight I'm going to give you a peek in why the Freedom Network would never stay at Stoughton Media Access. Never. It just wouldn't happen. Imagine people caught on video trashing your show. Imagine that. They still today are telling me that it absolutely positively, that they knew that they were on. They knew that the microphone was on, which was great because they had said it many times, and that just gave me the ability to air it. Because now it's not like a secret. Mike, you said you knew about it. You said you knew about it, so now I could air it. So I did air it. I did. Tim got it together and aired it. Anyway, we called them out. We did our thing. Anyway, let's see. Let me go down here in my story. At this time, I was doing shows about the town government. You think Northbridge is bad, you ought to get a load of Stoughton, folks. Oh, my goodness. Well, now maybe it's a little bit better than it was. It may be a little bit better than it was. But in any event, you're going to make me seasick. In any event, I called things out, as I always do. And the next thing you know, Mike sent an email that he thought he was only sending to one other conspirator of his, but actually it went to all the producers, which means I got my little hands on it. And in the email it states, and I'm going to quote from the email, folks. I will quote directly from the email because I have it right here in front of me. It says, among many other things, I won't read you the whole thing. I just don't think that's necessary. But it says, and I quote, and Mike, you tell me if these are your words or not. Because I got it right here in email. I'll flash it right up on that screen with the date and your email right on it. But I won't do that. I'll try to take the highest road I can here. We are hoping to put out as much positive local-based programming as possible to counter any of the negative junk that some producers seem determined to air. We are working towards steering everyone in a different or more positive, I believe it says, direction. We are working towards steering everyone in a more positive direction. Those are his words. Who do you think you're steering, buddy? Because you ain't steering me in any direction, because that's called censorship. Okay? Nobody steers what I do, period. I do this because I love to do it. I don't do it for any other reason, because I love to do it, and I give a darn about the country. And then, you know what? After I think it's now 3, it might even be 4, after that many people came to me and said that young people have read the Constitution, and they've done it because they saw the show and things of that nature, man, that's why I do it. That's why I do it. So, you know, I mean, it's against your license. I understand. It's definitely against your license in Stoughton to practice censorship. And when you say that you're going to steer everyone in a more positive direction, when you say that you want to put as much positive programming on as possible to counter negative junk that some producers seem determined to air, that's what censorship is called. That's called pushing things in a certain direction. That's what it is. All right? And you can get a lot of trouble for that, my friend. A lot of trouble for that, which is why I couldn't understand why you wouldn't let this die when you knew that this email was out there. But your ego wouldn't let you do it, or maybe your puppet masters wouldn't let you do it. I don't know. But these are your words, man. Positive programming? When does the town, if the town does stupid things, I can't call them out? Would that be? It wouldn't be positive, would it, Mike, if I said that the town had, maybe the FBI arresting police officers in the past in Stoughton? We wouldn't want to talk about that because that's negative. I shouldn't talk about the schools. Boy, there were lots of problems in the schools right around the time we were doing that, lots of issues. But I shouldn't talk about that, right? Because you want to steer things in a more positive direction, don't you? You're a joke, okay? To be quite honest with you. Don't call me out on things and tell me that I'm wrong when you send this stuff out to people and tell them what your very intent is. All right. So I'm going to tell you that they did try to steer the direction, and they intended to do just that. And this email is a great example. It's 100% real. It was sent back in late 2013, if you want to go search for it in your sent file, Mike. So if you folks at SMAC want me to go further, digging into more and more emails and talking about the corruption at the station, the puppets that you seem to have been, I don't know what's going on there now, but the puppets that seem to have run the place, or the names and places of where and what happened, keep pushing, because I got it. I grew up in the town. I lived there for years and years, decades, plural. I know people in the town, well beyond SMAC TV. I don't know why you wanted to push this to this level. You folks do censor. You know it. I know it. So like I said online, let it go. Just let it go. I have no intention of devoting all this precious airtime where I could be talking about America and what we need to do to put America back on track. But no, here I am having to defend something in the open that's absolutely true. So it's your choice. Keep it going. I'll just keep going as well. I don't have to worry about what I said, what I did, because I'm not lying. But you are, so keep them all straight. Just keep all your lies straight. And remember, famous quote, we're hoping to put as much positive local-based programming as possible to counter any of the negative junk that some producers seem determined to air. We are working towards steering everyone in a more positive direction. We? Who's we? Who are you working with? I know, but I'm not saying it. Don't worry about it, guys. I know a bunch of people are sitting there, if they're watching in Stoughton, going, oh, crap, what's he going to say next? I'm not, unless I'm forced to. So if you have any influence, and if one of you are the puppet masters, tell your buddy over there to cut the crap, okay? It ain't gonna go the way he wants it to go. All right, let me move on and talk about some politics now. Something that's actually a little more important than smack TV. Because I'll tell you, being here, this is this night and day comparatively to the professionalism, the ethics, the reach of the station. This is a town that's half the size of Stoughton, and I get twice the response. Why? Probably because they let people air what they want here, and then there's no one pushing you in any direction. There's no steering that goes on here. They just help you make shows. They teach you how to use the stuff, teach you how to use the equipment. You want a show? Just call them up. They're more than happy to. It was a circumstance that brought me up here between Stoughton and between the government here in town. It seemed like a perfect time to make a jump. And you jump here, you jump into open arms. It's like I honestly can't say enough nice things about the station. The station does a great job here. It really does a great job here. So get involved. Get involved. Come down. Check it out. It's yours. It's yours. You pay for it. You might as well use it, right? All right, April 26th, primary results. Did Donald Trump clean up? Yeah, Donald Trump sure did clean up, didn't he? Holy moly. He wins 58% in Connecticut for 28 delegates. He wins 61% in Delaware for 16 delegates. What was Maryland? 54% at 38 delegates. Pennsylvania was 57% with 17 delegates. And Rhode Island, 19 delegates at 64%. Ted Cruz only crested 20% in Pennsylvania, where he got 22%. Kasich, I just don't understand the guy. He didn't get up any higher than 30%, but he did get as high in Connecticut at 28%. So what does all this mean? What does all of it mean? You know, it means that Donald Trump has now got 953 delegates. Ted Cruz has 546, and John Kasich has a whopping 153, but he's still in the race. Folks, let's get realistic. Can we get realistic here for a minute? What is Ted Cruz still doing in the race? What is Kasich still doing in the race? They're trying to derail Donald Trump. Now, look, I've told you guys this a lot of times. You know, I've gone back and forth, but Cruz gets me a little... The more I see of him, the more nervous he makes me, to be quite honest with you. He kind of looks, talks, and acts like that politician that's in that movie that's got the Bible in his hand, and he's this idealistic guy, and he's just like this kind of slimy guy, and he's got this crazy side thing going on, but nobody knows about it. I don't know, but yet he's the only one that's argued before the Supreme Court and won. I think he's done that 5 or 6 times, hasn't he? I think something like that. It's a tough one. It is a tough one, but I'm going to tell you something. As a member of the Republican Party, and as a member of our town Republican committee, I'm going to tell you something. This party better smarten the heck up, because you know what's happening? I'm going to tell you what's happening. You're losing the party. That's what you're doing. And you're losing people like me. Because whether I like Cruz or Kasich better or whatever the case may be, Trump's got the votes. And when you decide that the votes don't matter anymore, when you cancel voting, when you use shady dealings at caucuses and things of that nature, what you're doing is you're allowing the party to run things, not the people. And when that happens, I'm going to tell you what it makes me want to do. It makes me want to say, hey, I don't want to be part of this party anymore. Not even for a little bit. But I'm going to see what happens at the convention, and then I'm going to have to make some kind of a decision. They need 1237 to win. I don't think Ted Cruz can win. I don't think mathematically he can win. Kasich he's in it to take away delegates from Trump. But let's face it, that's a stupid plan, because anyone voting for Kasich is going to go vote for Cruz. So if Kasich drops out, they're going to go vote for Cruz. So now they're going to campaign in different states. And they're going to try to, they have this whole master plan, and then they're going to challenge things, and they're going to do all this stuff. Come on. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let the people speak. How's that sound, Republican Party? Let the people speak. If that's what they want, that's what they want. Let it happen. This is America. Your vote should mean something. Doesn't seem to mean much, does it, right now? Doesn't at all. Over on the other side, we've got Hillary Clinton, who just had a great day, but she didn't sweep it. She lost Rhode Island, but she did win Connecticut with 52. She won Delaware with 60. And it goes on. I mean, she did pretty good. Sanders did not get above 50% anywhere, with the exception of Rhode Island. He's got 1,365 delegates. She has 1,662, but that includes 500 plus super delegates. How about this for the Democrats? Here's my spiel for you. Why don't you not announce your super delegates? Because what you've done by announcing them is you've created, the old song, nothing attracts a crowd like a crowd. And that's true. Nothing does attract a crowd like a crowd. Trust me. You put 15 people on the corner of the street looking at something, before you know it, you're going to have 20 people there. And eventually they'll figure out there's nothing there and they'll all walk away. But that's just the reality of it. So if we didn't have these 500 delegates mixed in there, we would be looking at a pretty close race, and people in the Democrat Party would be able to make up their minds as to who these, from these two people, who do they really think would be better. But what happens now is that it's like, well, Hillary's going to win anyway, and I'm going to vote for her. And that's the game. Don't think that that's just a coincidence. That's what they're doing. That's why they release the superdelegates early, so that they can get the momentum behind the candidate they want. So I say phooey on you as well. The Democrats are as bad as the Republicans. The Republicans are as bad as the Democrats when it comes to one thing. And it's the most important thing. Let the people's voices be heard. Abolish your stupid superdelegates. Get rid of them. They have no place in America. And to the Republicans, come on. What are you doing? What are you doing? Go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror if you're a delegate and you're going to support in any way, shape, or form, someone taking this away from Trump. And like I said to you, I'm not even so sure that most people are Trump first guys, but you know what? They're voting for him. And I'll tell you something, I'm going to vote for him if it's Hillary Clinton. And it's going to be Hillary Clinton. I told you that months ago. There is no way that Sanders would be allowed to get that nomination. And it looks as though they're going to try to steal this thing from Donald Trump. Now, will they be successful? If he keeps on going on like he's going, I don't think so. I mean, to sweep 5 of 5, that's pretty impressive. And he did that pretty handedly. I mean, he did it with 3 people in a race. His numbers are 58, 61, 54, 57, 64. That's with 3 people in a race. That's pretty tough to do. This guy's gaining momentum. It's what the people want. If it isn't what you want, that's okay. We got to deal with that. Folks, we got to deal with that. It's okay. We don't always win. Hell, you think I win in elections? You think the guy I vote for usually, I voted for Rand Paul. So get used to it, okay? Get used to it. It makes absolutely no sense to me. No sense whatsoever. Let me see if there's anything happening here on the wide world of emails. This one comes from Brian. Don't use my last name. Hey, Gary. I know the story you speak of well in Stoughton. What a crazy town. Oh, wait a minute. Aha. Look at this, folks. This is the first time I have to take my glasses out here. Okay. This is the first time that someone's called them out on it. I would expect an onslaught, that was the word, I didn't know what he was talking about, to come back at you, but man, you certainly do have the guts to tell it like it is. Hey, let me tell you something, man. That is like it is, and that is the reality. That's the truth. That's what the email said. That's what it said. How am I, okay, we'll loosely use the word talent, because we'll use it loosely. How am I, the talent, supposed to feel after seeing something like that? Oh, but that wasn't meant for you to see. Doesn't matter. You showed it to me. You sent it to me. You're about as savvy, I guess, on a computer as I am. Too bad. I don't know what to tell you, man. But those are your words. Those are your words. They're not mine. Okay? And I have no issue taking that entire email, along with the lengthy response that I gave to you on that email, that I'm sure you don't remember either. And I'll put that all out there. If you want to continue this, my suggestion, let it die. Just let it die. Just let it go. Just, as Robert De Niro would say, forget about it. All right, let me get to this now. Oh, boy, I'm locked up here. Hang on. I wanted to talk about the 9/11 Memorial Guards that ordered kids to stop singing the national anthem. But I can't seem to, oh boy, look what I've done here. Yeah, I can't seem to scroll down on that story. Anyway, what happened is kids come, let me give it to you in a nutshell. Kids come, they want to sing the national anthem at the 9/11 memorial, and they're stopped from doing so in the middle of the song. Why? You couldn't let them finish? Well, apparently you need a permit. I'm serious. You need a permit to sing a song with a group of people at the 9/11 memorial, I gather. And yeah, this webpage is just not responding. It's really too bad. But there's nothing I can do about it, so that's where I'm at with it. And I've lost my complete connection, my emails and everything. That's okay. Don't worry about it. But here's my problem, all right? People were affected many different ways by 9/11. It's absolutely, positively, in this instance, irrelevant whether you think it was George Bush, whether you think it was Dick Cheney, whether you think it was not Muslims, it was Muslims, this is this, the building can't fall. I'll do a show on that. I want to get John, my friend John, you know who you are, and I'm pretty sure you're out there tonight. I'd like to get you on the program. You have some great insight, and I know we battle back and forth, but you know I'm so far off the plantation that I'm not on anybody's plantation when it comes to that stuff. But regardless of what you think about 9/11, folks, let's just face it, okay? You got a group of kids there. They're looking to sing the national anthem. Let them sing the thing, will you? What is wrong with these people? What's wrong with these people? Because they didn't have a permit? Or was it because someone might be offended? What? If America offends you, get out. Go. If we offend you, what are you doing here? Why are you here? And if I need a permit to go to a memorial area where many Americans were killed, like I said, we can argue why all we want to argue why. All right? But that has nothing to do with this specific issue. And to take kids and to stop them in mid-song from singing something that takes mere minutes is the most disgusting thing I think I've heard in the past month. I mean, what the heck are we doing? We have made it now so that America can never come first. Never. It can't. It's not allowed. It's bad. Everything else, you have to understand. You don't have to understand a constitutionalist like me. No, you don't. You can call me a radical. You go try to call someone else a radical, though. Oh, no. You can't do that. When the constitutionalist becomes the radical, folks, you have lost America. Don't you realize that? This country wasn't set up so that everybody succeeds. It was set up so everybody has a chance. That's what it was. You don't need to go to free college or paid college to make it in life in America. Not even close. Work with your hands. They don't teach that in school anymore. I think they teach you about seeds, but do you see one? Do you get to grow things? Wouldn't it be nice if in school they brought you out and showed you how to grow your own organic vegetables? They used to teach you how to shoot. Yeah, in school they used to teach you how to shoot. Look, folks, we've come so far away from everything, that it's going to be very difficult to take this back. And we need an army of people armed with the truth and armed with a little booklet. I'm telling you, I have a Constitution, a copy. It's the Bill of Rights, it's the Constitution, it's all the amendments, it's in a book. The book is about this big, okay? And that is the width. If I held it up and I had it in front of me, it would be about that big. That's it. And I can read it, right? I can read it. I can. I know, I got very little time. I have 40 seconds, don't I? But in any event, that's the recipe to freedom. That's what I tell my son all the time. You want the recipe to freedom? Here you go, buddy. Check that out and read it. All right, I got to make way for 3 on 11. We covered a lot of topics. If you want to expand upon them, I don't have email up right now, but if you want to expand upon them, send me an email. If you need any information, you want links, anything that I've talked about, any information whatsoever, you just let me know. I'll gladly send it right over to you. All right? My name's Gary Rosenberg. This is the Freedom Network, and I am super delighted that you joined us tonight, and I hope to see you again next week.